As a conversation facilitator for Think Big, there's 5 things that you really need to be responsible for throughout this process. The first starts with registering your conversation and choosing the details. You've probably already done this. It's the Google form that you filled out where you told us the initial details. So again, your conversation should be taking place during the week of October 4th through 10th at any time of your choosing. We urge you to aim for at least a 1-hour conversation to give people the opportunity to really dive deep into this topic. But ultimately, you know what works best for you and the group of people that you're speaking with. Your second responsibility is choosing a virtual platform. So this is really important. You're going to choose a virtual platform, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Google Hangouts. Those are just ones that we've used before and we've heard others use, but you're free to use any platform that you choose. And this is where your conversation is going to be held because we're not really having them in person this year. You should end up with a meeting link to share with the other conversation participants. So when they go to register with you and you have their email address, you then would respond back to them with this meeting link. And then on the day of that meeting, they'll click the link, log on, and you'll be able to have that dialogue together. Inviting and following up with participants would be the next step of the facilitator responsibilities. You're going to invite 3 to 5 people to participate in your virtual conversation on racial equity and inclusion in Stark County. Once someone registers with you and they call the phone number that you listed or they email the email address, you take charge and communicate with them by sharing the invitation link so that they're able to join your conversation. Again, we definitely recommend keeping record of the email addresses of your participants to make communication easier. This is also going to come into play when you need to send out the survey at the end of your conversation, but we'll talk about that in a second. So as a facilitator, you're also going to dedicate another note taker. The reason why there are 2 people in these roles is that the facilitator is in charge of guiding the conversation. While the facilitator is making sure that the conversation is continuing, the note taker is going to be the one to capture perspectives and themes and write down notes and key points from that conversation. So you really do need 2 people there to make sure that the conversation is flowing naturally and you're still recording all the good things and the productive conversation that's happening. As a facilitator, your final responsibility will be to share the survey with participants. So you're going to encourage your guests to take a brief survey after your conversation is over. We are going to send you this link to share with them, but it's really important that the participants and the facilitators and the note takers all share their experiences, ideas, and feedback so we are able to better analyze that data. This information is helpful as we work together as a community to implement those big ideas that have the potential to improve racial equity and inclusion in Stark County. This data is going to be compiled and analyzed by the Center for Community Solutions, which is a nonpartisan Northeast Ohio think tank focused on solutions to health, social, and economic issues. The findings of 2020 Think Big will be released in early 2021. If you have any other questions about what your responsibilities are as a facilitator, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at thinkbigstark@starkcf.org.